Hey, what's good, LBK? Robert Jenkins here. If you've been paying attention this week to the news, local and in Texas in general, you would know that there's been quite a bit of violence, quite a spike in violence recently, talking about in the last week or so. You know, we humans seem to have a dual nature built into us by our Creator. On the one hand, we reflect the glory of God by performing amazing acts of self-sacrifice and generosity. But on the other hand, we also seem to be violent by nature. We are fallen beings who often give in to our base instincts. Religious people and realists understand this fact. They also understand that because of this reality, mankind requires guardrails, systems, and institutions to channel our violent base impulses into activities which strengthen our culture and society rather than destroy them. Certain elements in our society are actively working to dismantle these guardrails, systems, and institutions that we have purposely built to help deflate, channel, and diffuse our propensity for violence. These people remind me of that old story about a person who comes upon a sturdy fence out in the middle of nowhere and who then decides to tear that fence down, even though they have no idea what it was built to keep out. Or maybe, in a more sinister take on that story, maybe they do know what evil the fence was designed to contain, and they just specifically wish to unleash that evil on society to help them with the process of dismantling things. No matter what their motivations are, their track record is one of utter failure when it comes to decreasing violence. Remember when far left Antifa members took over a space in Portland and called it Chaz or Chop? Y'all remember that? It was predictable and comical that the first thing they did was put up a fence around the area to keep undesirables out. But the second, more tragic thing that happened, as I recall, was that 2 black men were shot. No cops involved at all, only leftists who swore up and down how much Black Lives mattered, but all they still accomplished in their effort to dismantle something or another was the death of 2 black men, or at least the shooting of 2 black men. In the wake of Michael Brown's death during a police encounter, analysts noted what they call the Ferguson Effect. Basically, cops nationwide stopped doing the discretionary things that police officers can do, which, some people would call good police work. Since they stopped doing those things, there has been a huge spike in black homicides and even a spike in blacks being killed in car accidents. That's very interesting since President Obama's and Attorney General Eric Holder's report on Ferguson about what went wrong down there. In their report, they highlighted that black people were given more tickets than whites in that area. So apparently some of those excess tickets were deserved. People who push defunding the police and dismantling this and that often push superheated rhetoric about the police hunting black men. Well, according to the FBI and the Washington Post's highly touted police brutality database, cops kill an average of around 20 black men per year. Now, that's too many, but keep in mind that there are millions of uneventful interactions between citizens and police every single year. So we're talking 20 out of millions of encounters. On the other hand, black men kill about 3,400 black men each and every year. So if you want to talk about police and hunting, let's get the facts straight. Right down the road in Dallas, there was 2 murderous rampages where black men hunted and killed police officers. The most recent, which happened like last Thursday, saw a black nut job who claimed to be a sovereign Moorish citizen execute at point blank range a black male police officer who was apparently just sitting in his car. This police officer spent 17 years as a teacher at a charter school in Dallas and decided to serve his community further by becoming a police officer. Ends up just senselessly slaughtered. And the perpetrator also severely wounded several other cops that same evening as they came to the aid of their colleague. Oh, and just so you know, waiting in ambush after killing someone so you can kill their colleagues who come to rescue them, that's a terrorist tactic. Saw that in Iraq and Afghanistan. And I'm not a big fan at all of police in general. But facts matter. As I recall, Ida B. Wells, the famous anti-lynching crusader, estimated that there had been about 3,500 lynchings during the 100 years after the Civil War. And yet here today, we black men kill nearly that same number every single year. You know, one way to reduce violence in our society is to rebuild our families, our churches, and our social institutions. Simple facts. Children from homes without fathers are grossly overrepresented in prison and even more grossly overrepresented among those who commit violent acts. And in our community, daddy gone in about roughly 8 out of 10 homes. Even President Obama famously quipped that it didn't matter if there was a black man in the White House as long as there was a black man in your house. So even though rebuilding families and institutions will actually work to decrease violence, I doubt it will ever be done. You know why? Because it's hard, inglamorous work that will take decades. It doesn't involve any politicians getting rich from ineffective policies or any academicians getting higher posts and famous books. And it doesn't involve any unproven strategies like dismantling the very structures that could prevent it. Confident and masculine, I step into the stadium. Eyes wide, time flies, life like palladium. Value in the moments that be fleeting in our face and then they go. Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your brother, Robert Jenkins, and since you're hearing my voice, you know that means it is time to focus, LBK. We're going to jump right into what's going on, and we want to let y'all know next week, we've got the Hispanic Heritage Month with KLBK's Eddie Catano. That's going to be Saturday, September 7th, 2024, of course, from 2 to 4 p.m., and it's going to be, of course, at Patterson Library, up there with Teresa Wilson and her crew, her stalwart crew of librarians, expert librarians, always doing something good for the community, for the comedians too. I guess I was about to say the comedians. I don't know where that was coming from. But this Hispanic Heritage Month celebration is going to honor Anita Carmona Harrison, Vidal Aguero. No, it's Vidal Aguero. I was just talking to Vidal's two daughters, Zenaida and Amalia, and they're going to be coming up on the show. We did an interview with them. They're going to be coming up on the show, and they were pronouncing it Aguero, Vidal Aguero. So anyway, this thing is going to be honoring Anita Carmona Harrison, Vidal Aguero, Lala Chavez, Jerry Serrano, and Robert Narvaez. By the way, if you're a fan of Jerry Serrano, you should probably go peep out the City of Lubbock's podcast called LBK Rhythm and Roots. That's on YouTube. Go to the City of Lubbock's YouTube channel, because we did an interview with Jerry Serrano a few weeks ago and got a personal concert right there in Studio 1314. Go peep that out if you want to see some more about him. Anyway, they're also going to have performances by Mariachi Azteca. I was going to say Ballet Folklorico Azatlan. They're going to be, so in other words, they're going to be ballet dancing out there. Ballet Folklorico, the colorful dresses, the caballero with the smooth uniform on. They're going to be all out there getting it on and getting it in for Fiesta, for Hispanic Heritage Months. And they have, I was thinking Fiesta because they have, it's called Fiestas del Llano is the organization that puts that thing on. So man, y'all better get out there. Patterson Library presents Hispanic Heritage Month. Saturday, September 7th, 2024, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is going to be crafts by Friendship Spanish Club and refreshments immediately following the event. Probably going to need some refreshment. I hope it stay cool out like this, because we was working hard the other day trying to identify a shaded area out by the library. But luckily, God looked like he going to provide some shade for us. So thank you, Lord. All right, I'm waiting on this. Y'all know how I feel about these electronics. I'm holding this phone up again. I'm waiting on the next event. Okay, here it go. M-Fist. which is a firearms training academy run by James Major right here in the LBK. They're going to be out at West End at the 511 store, and they're going to be putting on a class on how to prepare for civil unrest. You know, I'm a news hound. I'm constantly peeping out all the news online. I got a whole group of analysts and people that I follow who have proven to be accurate for probably 20 years now. And I follow them because they're right far more often than they're wrong. And some of them are saying, man, we could very well see some civil unrest on the news, or civil unrest in society after this crazy election that we got coming up. Because they're saying basically ain't neither side going to accept the outcome. The distrust runs so deep in our society. And by the way, I guess the theme of this show is kind of like is about how to prevent violence. Well, you see right there, the conditions are set for us to possibly experience some of that violence. Now, I really don't think anything crazy is going to go down in the LBK, but I would strongly caution you about feeling so complacent and so safe just because we out here on our little island. They say we the hub of the plains. We are island on the plains too, if you really look at it. And because of that, I think we tend to get complacent with our safety and our preparedness. But like I say, I caution you against doing that. I would urge y'all to go out and check out this Preparing for Civil Unrest, and you need to register. You can look down below this post right here, and it's going to be a QR code in the flyer. Y'all can register right there. Lubbock location of 511 Tactical, and it's going to be September 12th at 6:15 p.m. That's MFIST sponsoring the Preparing for Civil Unrest class. Lubbock location of 511 Tactical over there in West End, and it's going to be September 12th. 6:15. I think we already registered, so man, y'all better hurry up because might be limited seating. I don't know. You also have Friday, September 20th. You have, let me make it a little bigger because y'all know my eyes ain't what they used to be. I always say my discernment is sharper than ever, but my eyes is slowly deteriorating with age, with maturity, not age. All right, but next up on the 20th of September is going to be the Navigating Your Career Experience Conference, 1 to 5 p.m. at the Texas Tech Club, 550 University Avenue. You can sign up to attend the conference with the QR code on the flyer below. That's the Navigating Your Career Experience Conference by HR & Co. Friday, September 20th, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Texas Tech Club. That's the club you need to be at. Sometimes we be at the club, might need to be at the Texas Tech Club. You know what I'm saying? All right. Next up, Saturday, September 21st at 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., we got the Parkway Mural Fest. It's a housing justice art event. Join us for an evening of vibrant murals. I couldn't say that last week. Murals, vibrant murals by emerging artists and housing land justice on the east side. Parkway Mural Fest, of course, y'all know, is put on by Danielle over at the East Lubbock Art House, 405 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. That's Saturday, September 21st, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Murals, arts and crafts, live music and free food, community resources, and vendors. You know, we'll probably be there taking pictures. Yeah. That one is dead. That one dead too. Okay, save the date. We got the Black Business Expo coming up February 1st, 2025. Man, that's all the way in next year. But when you think about it, that's not that far away. I guarantee that's going to be here tomorrow. You're going to go to sleep and wake up and it's going to be February 21st. So that's why we're giving you a heads up now. Breaking Barriers and Building Empires, the Black Business Expo, February 1st, 2025. Say the date, y'all. Say the date. Let me see. What do I have in my notes here? I feel like I got a couple more items. I sure do. You got the Family Fall Fest, the 4th Annual Catholic Charities Family Fall Fest, and it's going to be Friday, October 25th, 2024 at 6 to 8 p.m. And it's going to be at 1505 34th Street, the Resale Center. From your home, helping others. That's real tiny. That's why I had to read it slow. From your home, helping others. I got to make my voice go down low because it's so little. I'm like, yeah, I got to mumble that writing is so little. You know what I'm saying? When the writing big, you can talk. We say when it's something is all caps, it's yelling. So I guess when it's tiny and you can't see it, you're supposed to whisper. Anyway, it's going to be free resources, games, candy, and costumes are encouraged. The 4th annual Catholic Charities Family Fall Fest is free. It's a big old free right there in the pumpkin. 6 to 8 p.m. Friday, October 25th, 2024, 1503 34th Street. I think I got another good little flyer here. Let me pull it up. Yo, this one right here. Y'all got to look at this flyer down there. Looks like the Oddities Art Market is coming up September 28th from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to have 35 local artists, food trucks, performers. I think it's going to be at the CASP 5GJ Gallery at 1106 5th Street. That's what it looked like. It say the Oddities Art Market. And the funniest thing about this flyer, y'all got to peep it out. Yeah, I mean, you could probably see it down there better than right here, but it's got Baba Yaga on there. I think that's Baba Yaga is a Russian fairy tale, and fairy tales was scary back in the days. So it's a Russian witch who takes the form of a house with chicken feet. I can't even with these Russians talking about a house with chicken feet, man. That's funny than a mug. I don't know why that is so funny. That tickles me deeply. A house with chicken feet and smoke coming out the chicken. I mean, not at the chimney, not the chicken. Well, it must be coming out the chicken if it's coming out the chimney because the chicken is part of the house. So it looked like they cooking the top part. Anyway, cooking the top part of the chicken and a house with chicken feet. That's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Anyway, that is the Oddities Art Market, September 28th, 2024, coming up pretty soon. 5 to 10 p.m. 35 local artists, food truck performers. It's over there on 5th Street at the CASP 5GJ Gallery. I think that's what that says. Yeah, let me see what else we got, chum. All right, let me see. Uh-oh. I'm stuck. See, this is why I don't like these. Let me see. I'm trying to close it. I'm trying to move it. I'm trying to do something. And it don't want me to do nothing. It's just mad at me. Let me close it out real slow like that. Then open it back up. I think that might be all I got. I think that is all I have. Yeah. It's sure. Wait, nope. Of course, I knew I had something else. I'm glad I took the time to scroll through my little list. Man, we got the 2024 Fiestas Patrias. That's the Fiestas Patrias if you're from Texas. Fiestas Patrias, but it's actually the Fiestas Patrias. It's going to be Saturday, September 14th, 2024. I try not to mispronounce things in other languages, especially if you know a little bit about the language. I try to say it right. When I was taking Spanish back in the Air Force, I was a linguist, and my first language I learned was Spanish. And we was out there in Monterey, California, and I had some Marine cats in my class, and they was from I think they was from Alabama, and they was cool dudes, but they had a thick accent. You know what I'm saying? That thick Alabama accent, and it was funny to me because we'd be in there in class, and I remember one particular day we was learning numbers and stuff, and the number was 333. And they was talking about Trace. I was like, Trace. Who is this Tracy chick y'all keep talking about? Tracy, Trace. What? Anyway, I thought that was hilarious. Every time I think back to that, it just makes me more determined to try to, if you can pronounce it a little better, somebody else's language and culture, honor their language and culture by doing your best to pronounce it. You know what I'm saying? By the same token, if you over in our country, honor our country and our heritage by doing your best to speak English. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the way I feel about it. But hey, Fiestas Patrias. So on Saturday, September 14th, they're going to have the Fiestas Patrias. And it looks like it's going to start at 11 a.m. It's going to be a parade. And it's going to go Let's see, man, here you go with this little writing again. They're going to line up at First Baptist Church at 9 a.m. The parade starts at 10. They're going to head down Avenue V, heading east on Broadway, turn left, blah, blah, blah. They're going to end up at the Civic Center. It's the same route as the Veterans Day parade, roughly. The theme of this year's festivities, or Fiestas Patrias, is Creadores de Historia. They're the creators of history, is what they're saying there. There's going to be a barbacoa competition. You must be pre-registered to compete, so look down here on the flyer. You know it's going to be down on there. It's going to be a QR code. For everybody out there that don't know how to interact with a QR code, by the way you actually do that is you scan it with your phone. In an iPhone, you just pull up the camera. I don't know about them Samsung Android users, but I think they got to pull up a special app. But on an iPhone, and it don't matter. Once you pull up your app, it's the same thing. So you scan it with your phone or pull up your app and scan the QR code. And then you tap what pops up. You can't take a picture of it. Don't take a picture. You can take a picture of it, but don't do that because that's not going to take you nowhere. You're supposed to scan it with your phone and then tap the pop-up. The pop-up takes you to the website. It's a link. So the link pops up in real life. That's the whole purpose of QR codes. Some people out there, I've noticed, I be trying to give them the QR code to this very show, and I see them do the same thing. A lot of times they take the picture of it. I was like, that's good that you took a picture of the QR code, but you got to tap it, though. You got to scan it and tap it when it pop up. So anyway, going back to the nitty gritty, Saturday, September 14th, 2024, Fiestas Patrias, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. See, they're going to have that parade first, kicking off at lining up at 9 and kicking off at 10. But then after that, you go on up to Buddy Holly Park off Norris University at the gazebo area. They're going to have music and food. And it's not just for people that are Hispanic or of Hispanic heritage. It's for everybody. They're going to have different food, different music. It's not just a Spanish centric thing, is what they were telling me when we interviewed them. That's Zenaida and Amalia Aguero. Oh man. See, I'm concentrating on that Aguero. It's Zenaida and Amalia Agüero. Agüero. Yeah. So y'all don't miss them 2024 Fiestas Patrias. I feel like we gonna be there too. Barbecue competition. Anyway, Lubbock, I believe those are all of the good little things that I have, at least, that are going on. I got something else. Oh, yeah. No, there's more. Dude, you can't tell me. People always talking about ain't nothing to do in Lubbock. Every time I try to close this session out, I remember there's something else going on. The Locker Room presents Man Up Spiritual Reinforcements. Daniel 10:12, Saturday, September 7th. That's next Saturday, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Everything is next Saturday. Man, we're going to have a hard time making some of this stuff. Saturday, September 7th, 2024, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That is the Locker Room presents Man Up. And they got the dude on the flyer standing there like this. So telling you right there, you need to man up. You know what I'm saying? Man Up Spiritual Reinforcements. It's going to be at the Difference Makers Fellowship Church, 517 North Zenith. Again, that date is Saturday, September 2024, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And registration is 30 bones and 40 bones for vendor registration. Y'all better peep that out. We're going to be there. October 5th, you got Life Together 2024 Couples Workshop. If you register before... let's see, a little text again. Let me pull it up. If you register before September 10th, you get 40% off. So it's $60 instead of $100. It's going to be Dr. Gaston Rougeau Burns. It's going to be several other esteemed psychologists and counselors and such like that. Topics going to include conflict resolution, fighting fairly, active listening, fighting fairly. Some of y'all out there need to know what that means. Fighting fairly, active listening, communication skills, and financial success. It's all for couples. It's got $10 per child for childcare. They gonna have it everything. Man, they trying to make it easy for you to go. It's gonna be October 5th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. It's an all-day thing at the YWCA. That's not the right organization. Anyway, the YWCA over there at 6501 University. Y'all know where that's at. Pre-register for a chance to win $1,000 cruise, Also a 10 for a free date night gift card giveaway and a 10 for a chance to win a spa package. I don't know. Speaking of spa, the massages are good, but have y'all ever got a pedicure? I don't know if that's included in that, but man, if you ain't dudes, brothers, if you ain't never had a pedicure, I highly recommend you try your wife's pedicurist. Is that a word? I don't know how. Is it a pedicurist? Anyway, talk to your wife about it. She'll let you know. They exquisite. They feel wonderful. They massage your calves, plus do your toes and stuff, and massage your feet, man, in some hot soapy water. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't never had but like one or two of them, but in the back of my mind, I constantly plan on going back to get another pedicure. I'm going to do it one of these days too. Anyway, LBK, this has been episode 51. Is it 51 or 52? I believe it's episode 52. Yeah, this is episode 52 on reducing violence in the Black community. Man, you know what that means, right? That's a year of episodes. September 11th is our anniversary date. So on September 11th, we're gonna start season 2. We're gonna have new intro, new graphics, and all that good stuff. We're gonna have guests as often as possible, trying to get every week. And we got some lined up. We got some in the can too. So y'all stay tuned, man. Keep kicking it with us like you've been doing. We sure appreciate your support. Reach out to us. You can hit us up in the comment section down here. We would love to know what y'all think about the content, what y'all think we need to cover more of or less of or whatever. Let us know, man, because we doing this hopefully to be of service and of use to you guys out there in the community. We all one big family out here, we feel like. So we trying to earn our keep. You know what I'm saying? You don't work, you don't eat. Trying to earn our keep. Anyway, LBK, this has been episode, I can't believe it's 52, but it is. It's episode 52 of the Focus LBK show. Thank y'all. Y'all have a great week, whatever remains of your week. And we will see y'all next week. It'll be season 2, episode 1. Can you believe it? Look at God. All right, then. Peace. Well, hello, Lubbock, Texas, USA. This is your brother, Robert Jenkins, coming to y'all with another episode of the Focus LBK show. We are over here at the RCRC, as I like to call it, because it got a long name. I like to shorten it up a little bit. That might be the military in me trying to do all them acronyms, you know what I'm saying? But we sitting here today, we got a very special guest in studio. It's Mr. Ricky Sherfield, who is an entrepreneur, community leader. See him everywhere. Everywhere I go, he already there set up. I'd be like, man, every time I look, this cat is set up, making it do what it do. Ricky, welcome to the Focus LBK show, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's a pleasure being here.
Indeed.
Man, just love what you're doing. So just the opportunity to be on here, man, I appreciate the invitation for sure.
Oh, man, yeah, would have had you on sooner, but you just busy, you know what I'm saying? We've been talking about this for a long time, you know what I'm saying? From what I understand now, talking to the audience just to let them know, I think me and you got something in common, and that is Wiley College.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yours is a little bit more extensive than mine, but had the opportunity. So a lot of people, I don't know if they know, but East Texas, born and raised, and so Tyler, Texas is home, and just love everything about East Texas, but got an opportunity to be in a program and on kind of Wiley College campus, and so a lot of history on that campus, a lot of just I love even today just being able to go back and be on that campus. Usually we'll have like our in the past we've had our family reunions still there, and so every time just be able to walk on the campus, you feel it, you feel something. It's just something about it. It's a special place, real unique place. So I love it. So
yeah. So you are East Texas born and raised. Yes. I know exactly where Tyler is and all that, man. Longview used to be my stomping grounds. What's that, 80 running down the pass?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And man, we had a real good time. And the way I got to Wiley was here I went to Lubbock High. And we had a teacher there. She was actually, I didn't have her as a teacher. She was my Friday teacher. We had LEAP classes. And she taught Black history. So I was got in her class. I was supposed to go to Coronado. For some reason, I just wasn't feeling Coronado, man. I went to school with them cats in junior high, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, I want something different. Went to Lubbock High, leaped over there. Miss Carter took her class, Black History, and part of what she did, she arranged a tour of all the black colleges in East Texas, Western Louisiana. So we got on a chartered Greyhound, man, and rode down. I think we went to Austin first, Houston, Tillotson, all that. Then we went to Houston, went to Prairie View and Texas Southern, and just all over. And then shot up to good old Wiley, Wiley Deer, as they say. You know what I'm saying? And the way I got there, man, I just went up in there, and a dude named, I think his name was Lee Daniels. He was like the admissions counselor or something like that. He's like, raise your hand if you got so-and-so test score. Raise your hand if you got so-and-so. He said, you stay after, when they leave, stay over here and talk to me. So I stayed over there and talked to him, and he got all I did was give him my name and the address, you know what I'm saying? And by the time we got back off that trip, man, I had a scholarship offer in the mail. I was like, well, thank the Lord, because I wasn't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It wasn't going to be no college without that, at least. Or it wasn't. I don't know what it would have been. I didn't want to go to Tech. I don't know why, but Tech never did anything.
It never drew anything to you.
Never attracted me. I don't know why. It still don't. I've been on the campus like 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you say when you got to Wiley, did you actually? How long were you there?
So it was kind of more of like a summer thing. So it was more of probably similar to like a program like Upper Bound kind of nowadays, and kind of what's going on. And so, like I said, it was a good experience. And then for me, it was kind of like transitioning. So it was a good. You get a little bit of a taste of kind of what to expect, of kind of what that college life is going to be like. What being on your own and kind of, preparing and all those different things when you kind of that incoming freshman that you kind of things you go through. That was what the purpose of it and kind of the intent.
Oh, I see. So you did about like I said, a few hours or a few months there.
And then pretty much it was kind of rolling into getting you ready for, at that time I was like, I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to be doing. It was a couple different options. It was either going to be going down to Houston or it was going to be going to Lubbock. Had no idea I would kind of be here. I really thought it was going to be Houston that I was going to go to. That was the one that, of course, more attractive, more going on. I was familiar with Houston. Lubbock, had no idea about.
Right.
Hadn't been to Lubbock. Right. Didn't know where it was on the map. Couldn't tell you anything about it. But kind of, I guess, the way the world works, I guess this is where I was supposed to. I was meant to be, and so that's how I kind of came about.
Well, why was you meant to be here? What happened that brought you here?
I think it was so. My family, I think for them on their end, I think they were happy that I chose Tech, and really my only choice. I applied to University of Houston's architecture program, and at that time, that's what I thought I was. The path I was supposed to be on. Actually, didn't get into their program, but Tech's I got in, so I was like, that made the decision easy. We're going to Lubbock, and so it was like, well, I guess I need to actually make a visit down here. So made my visit. I was like, okay, I think this is what I'm going to be doing. We're going through with it. But I think a lot of the different things that I was exposed to, the things I'm doing now, I kind of, feel like it was meant to be, where I was starting a business, kind of getting involved in the community, all these different things. I think it started and kind of it was birthed kind of while I was still a student at Tech, and then really when I graduated, I was like, let me look at this a little bit more, kind of take it a little bit more serious and really dive in. And so that's kind of what I did.
So you're saying you really went to Tech first for architecture? Yeah.
So architecture is what I thought was going to be my career path. And it was one of those where I was like, okay, I was a little lost. And so it was kind of narrowing down what are the things that you're interested in. So could kind of draw a little bit, kind of liked, houses at that time. And really what I wanted to do and what really drew me to the career was I wanted to do dream houses. I wanted to do you come to me and I design your dream house and everything, and it'd be your forever home. And so that's what kind of led me down. And then just kind of going through, I was like, man, I don't know if I necessarily can see me doing this every day for the rest of my life. It was more kind of a job, and I really wanted to go in and it be something that I enjoyed every day. I'm excited about it. I'm waking up and, there's a smile on my face. And at that point, it was more of like, well, this would be something you could do. But I just felt like there was probably something more for me.
Well, then how did you go from that? I mean, how did you find being a community leader? Basically, I'm still in my mind thinking about what would I call you, because you do a lot of stuff in the community, just a community resource almost. You know what I'm saying? How did you get from architecture to that?
Yeah, so it's a wild story. One where I kind of share with people, and they can't believe it, because for them, they're like, an architecture. I have an architecture degree. Wow. So for them, they're like, the fact that you have this degree, and you went through this program that was, if you talk to anybody, the architecture program is one of those intense programs. It's one of those where our first day, not even first day of class, it was orientation. And they do that, look to the left, look to the right. Chances are one of these individuals not going to be with you halfway through the semester, and really not even halfway through the semester. It was by drop date, which was somewhere, I think, right before Thanksgiving. So I remember on my way going home and coming back and having classes post Thanksgiving, and half the class had dropped. So we went from, I think it was around 400 or so, and it dropped to 200. And so it was one of those that they're trying to get you out. Like they're putting you to the max. It's one of those where, you talk about all-nighters. I had my fair share of all-nighters. I had my fair share of doing these models, like just the amount of work that it took. But me getting into all these other different things, really it was my roommate. I kind of owe him. He kind of got me, I guess, that spark and everything. And we were in a program together. It was called Mentor Tech, and still around kind of today. And a lot of people have kind of gone through that program. It's helped so many people. But basically, you got a mentor, helped you kind of with your transition on the campus. If you needed anything, it was someone that person would be a guide kind of for you. And so he used to do all the different flyers and everything for the organization. And one day he came to me. He was too busy, and he said, "Rick, can you do one for me?" I hadn't did a flyer on the campus before, and I was like, sure. And I did the flyer, and it was probably the most excitement that I had. Like, I really got into it. It was somewhere I'm opening up Illustrator, and that's what we were using, and kind of doing these different things, putting it together. And it was probably the happiest I had been. And so I was like, that was a good feeling. I kind of want to do that again. And so it got to the point where for him, he was just like, if you want to, I'll let you have it, and you can do all the different flyers and everything for the organization. They would usually have probably about 2 or 3 events a week. So it was, constant opportunities to be able to do this. And so the more I did it, the more I kind of fell in love with it. And at that point, I didn't know, it would be, today trying to look at that. It was just something where I just enjoyed it. So I continued doing it. It was one of those where somebody finds out, hey, Rick, you do this, and started doing invitations, started doing, the organizations for their different events. Some of the frats they're looking for their house party or whatever is going on. So then you start, you building like a name for yourself. And I was like, well, I kind of feel like now it's moving away from hobby and all of this to maybe I have something here, and maybe I can kind of start something. So while I was still enrolled in school, that's where I started my business. And so I was like, well, I need a name. What am I going to call it? So I was like, Real Deal Designs. I was like, that's the perfect name. It was like a nickname. Then I'm combining it with designs. I was like, boom, we got that. We're going to go from there. And then kind of the community aspect of it was, I think it's just something that was just instilled in me. As crazy as it was, 17 hours doing your architecture student. You're trying to, do all these different things like with this business. But then you're adding on top of it, you're trying to be like a leader. So I was involved in student orgs, president of this, maybe vice president of this. We were doing different things where, we were kind of volunteering, we were giving back. And so that was something else that kind of really stuck with me and stayed with me. And so I think as a child, my mom and parents, they really just instilled that in me about giving back. And so I was like, that's something that I want to continue doing. So even, after graduating, I was like, I want to make sure that that's something that happens. And that's a staple. I feel like it's important. And, you blessed. It's important to, bless others and kind of give back. So I think that's why I kind of, that big heart, that's where it comes from. Is always just trying to share with others and kind of do what I can for the community.
So that's a pretty interesting. Do you still have love for architecture today, or you kind of forgot about it?
So
you kind of done with it?
Is definitely, I guess maybe a love-hate type of thing.
Right.
It's definitely not something that I see me kind of jumping back into, but I still have aspirations to kind of design my own dream house. And so I know some people are like, man, you got that degree, but don't worry, I do use it. I use it just in a different way. So for me, if it wasn't for kind of going through that program, that's where I learned how to use Photoshop. That's where I learned how to use Illustrator. Just really the Adobe Suite. We were using that because in order, we're designing these buildings and taking these different things. That was one part of it. But you had to sell your building. So it was like the marketing that you would have to do. You would have to have a nice layout. It'd have to be real clean. You would have to really make a proposal and sell it. So there are different, components of it that I kind of use, and it's in a maybe untraditional aspect. And then I am kind of a little bit in real estate. And so that's something that's, that was a goal of mine, just to be able to do. And I wanted to be able to provide, housing kind of for my community. And so doing that a little bit at a time, it's been kind of cool to be a landlord and have individuals where they, they have it's not just a space, it's a home for them. That's kind of what I want and what I want to be able to provide. And it's an opportunity for them to kind of, get their own space. So that's something that I can say it's been a success story. Some of the tenants have gone on from renting from me to buying their own. So to see how, it can start with me and they see what I'm doing and now they're into it. They have their home, they have property, or they've become a landlord. So some of those different things that I learned kind of in the program, they're not going completely to waste.
Right. So being that these two fields are so different, do you feel like this is something God led you to do? Or
for sure, because for me, I couldn't imagine it. I couldn't see me. I can go back to my childhood and I can see certain things where it's like I would like in these projects and different things where that design aspect, I was kind of like, I really got into it. I really probably should have been paying attention more in church and everything. And I'm doodling and everything. And it was kind of that, like, still trying to figure it out though. And so the dots didn't really started lining up until really I got to tech. So that's why I feel like it was meant to be. And that's how the alignment was supposed to be and kind of go through it. So I feel like even though it was a struggle, because like I said, that program, as intense as it was and as hard, I feel like it kind of, that work ethic, the discipline, all the different things, I think that's what I needed to be able to kind of to be where I am today, and manage so many different things, to be able to, sacrifice, because I think that's one thing, you think about a business owner, you don't think about, sometimes you have to, sacrifice and to be able to get some things done. So it may be sacrificing sleep, it might be sacrificing kind of more of your time, but it's worth it at the end of the day because, that client is happy and that's what you want. You're keeping them in mind and you want, that best foot put forward. So whatever I can do to kind of make sure that they're happy, I'm willing to do that. But
so you, from what I can tell, man, you do so many different things. It's hard to pin you down.
Yeah.
But I mean, you clearly do photography and the marquee rentals. I think that's a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
You got me. I'm thinking about with my business, like I probably need to get some microphones and speakers as well because people, they want to put on events. If I'm filming the event, half the time they don't have stuff.
Exactly.
Or they trying to go through this building's existing stuff or that building, and who knows how it works. And I want my videos to have crisp audio at all times.
Yes.
So I was thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna have to sacrifice, as you say, some ducats here and probably get me at least a twin microphone set up. But going back to you, I noticed, man, you do the marquee stuff, and that's, like I say, that's very interesting. It's a lot of people need that kind of stuff. Quinceañeras, birthdays, and weddings and stuff like that. They need them signs and letters and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing the photography, you're doing the marquees, doing the real estate. What else? We missing probably about 6 things.
It's a little, now I guess you can add events and everything on there, the coordination and everything.
Yeah. How'd you get into that? Because that's one of the things I'm gonna pick your brain about. Wait till the cameras get off and see what happens.
So kind of going back, and why I feel like it was kind of, I guess, divine and kind of just everything leading this way. A lot of it was people kind of coming to me, and I think that was that confirmation, and I think it helped me to look at it and take things more serious. So I told you how the story about with the flyers and kind of doing different things at school. The extension of that, or I guess kind of continuation part 2, however you want to say it, and where photography came in was people started asking me to do their we getting older, so you start meeting like the seniors, and they need graduation pictures. They're needing different things, the invitations and everything. And so I would do their invitation, but then I would recommend someone else for the photography. And I looked at that and I was like, that's a missed
crazy.
opportunity. Yeah. I said, I can do this. I know I can do it. And so, my mom, she's the creative one. So usually on the holidays, I'm the one that's taking the pictures. She'll give me the camera and like, you get the group shots, you do all of this. So when I come home for the holidays, it's really I'm not on vacation, I'm working, because she's putting me to work or whatever. So wherever we're going, hey, here's the camera and you do it. So I was just like, I just need to define it. I need to get better. So got my first camera. It was a Canon. My mom got it for me, and I was like, all right, we're diving into it. Then it was like, okay, I need to learn how to not just take the photos, take better photos, better quality, kind of up in my game, where it could be something where it's if I'm providing this for a client, that they're satisfied with it. So I started looking at, self-teaching and everything, of course, but then they had a couple of things going on at South Plains, some of those continuing education classes that they would offer, and it'd be on the weekend. You could go out there. There's an individual, he's showing you everything, breaking down the ISO, going through off-camera flash, and I was like, oh man, I was hooked after that. Right. So I started going and just started getting a little bit better, and got to the point where I was like, man, I think now I want to add this as a service that I offer. So that was kind of the first little transformation, I guess, kind of for Real Deal Designs. Then it was, that transition where it was like, people are asking about shirts. And so I was designing a lot of shirts, but then I would make their design, send them the file, they're going to someone else for the print. And I was like, again, this is something that you can do. You just need to look at it a little bit more. So for me, everything I do, I kind of do a little bit research first. I don't want to just dive in because I want to make sure this is something that, for me and the right thing for me. So I started looking at different things, and I was like, I got my first heat press, started doing them, and then I started, of course you make mistakes at the beginning, kind of got all the kinks out and everything. Started doing the t-shirts and everything. And so each time it's just been where it's individuals coming to me, and I feel like they're coming to me like for a reason, and kind of that spark and everything. But they're all things that I love to do. Like I love doing the t-shirts, I love being creative with it. The photography, that's probably like my favorite, because that one is where you get to be the most creative, I feel like, and you're capturing these moments and the angles, the lighting, all the different things. So it really gets me. But each thing is just kind of led to the next. I feel like in something that they are different, but kind of for me in my mind and how I see it, I can see kind of a connection kind of for all of them. So the marquee rentals and everything and on the equipment, that came about by doing so many different events, because I was like, if they're having me come and just kind of just how you said it, you're setting up and you're capturing it, they need some of these other things and they're looking for it. And I was like, that mean kind of make a little bit of an investment in everything, because that's basically what it's about. If you need I need a new laptop, I need whatever it may be, kind of investing in yourself. And I think that was like a key thing I learned is don't be afraid to invest in yourself, and better equipment, whatever it may be, to take yourself up to the next level. And so that's kind of how I saw it, is a little investment that I could make that could, be an extension that I could offer. So it could be, okay, I can do almost every part I can offer for your event. So you need me to design an invitation for it. You need some shirts for it. I can also take pictures for it. And then I can also have items there that you can use and they can interact with at the event. So for me, I saw it as just being able to kind of be that one stop for them, something that they could have. And we'll just call Ricky, and Ricky just do everything and have everything lined up for it. And so I just felt that was kind of important. At the beginning, I'm not thinking like that, but now a little bit more experience, more years in, how can you connect it and how can you better serve? And I thought that was just a good way to do it.
Yeah, indeed. And that's, we kind of on the same path and the same journey in many ways. And you were talking about how much you love photography, man. So I'm a trained videographer. So I went to school for it when I was still in the military. And I knew from day one I wanted to do something creative. When I was in the military, before I even joined, I was like, well, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to finish my degree and I'm going to use my benefits. I'm going to go to school for something, because when I get out, I'm going to do something creative.
Yes.
And that's, luckily I had the drive to actually do that, because it was a slog, man, going to video school. And I'm a full-time dad, full-time airman, full-time, and then get off work and drive, Maryland traffic.
Yes.
Drive an hour and a half to go to school, and then drive an hour and a half at midnight to come back home so I can get back up at 5 to go to PT. But say all that to say, I didn't fall in love with that photography. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell which one I like more, videography or photography. And I think right now it's photography, and it's a whole different thought process than videography. And I think that's what I like about it. It's almost like sniping.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You sitting back with a sniper rifle, just looking for, there it is.
Yep.
Missed it. You know what I'm saying? It's that constant struggle to master your equipment and the techniques, and so I love it, man. It's addictive, and I've had people look at me before, like, come take pictures of my event. All right, I'm taking pictures. The event over, I'm still people looking like, Rob, still taking pictures. I was like, I'm trying to see if I can get this picture.
Exactly.
The event is almost over. I got everything I need, but I'm getting my ISO.
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to blur that background out. It's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's a fun challenge.
It is. I love like what you said, because I felt like I can relate definitely about the challenge aspect of it. Because I just feel like everything is not the same. It doesn't matter, and even if it's a similar activity, or like you have so many different things that could be different. The lighting, if you're indoor, outdoor, whatever it may be, and then especially like on the addictive part, for me, kind of starting out, I was going through where I was like, oh man, I need this. And I was getting all these different, little gadgets and everything. Cause I was just trying to really get as good as I could kind of with this, and really, I dove in, because I was like, once you start snapping and everything, and you realize that kind of that rush that you get. And I think, oh man, as nervous as I was, but the first wedding that I got to do, is so much pressure on you, because that's something where that's somebody's special day. in control of that, and it's one of those where there's not gonna be no excuses and everything.
And
you get it right,
shot.
yes.
One
and
time.
so being able to do that and it goes so well, and then just really diving in, you're like, all right, what's next and everything. But that challenge aspect was just one where it was like, even today, I just felt like it's still as many photos I couldn't tell you how many photos I've taken, and the amount of gigs I done filled up on memory cards and on my hard drive of just all these different photos. But it's like it's a love, it's a passion that's there for it.
Yeah.
So
it sure is, man. It's hard to explain for anybody out there that do have that love for the camera like we got. I could literally, that's a fun weekend to me, is take my camera and a water bottle or something.
Oh yeah,
and just drive around. I like to drive around the east side, man. Just be looking. What's that?
Yo. Right there.
Just go over there in the feet, wherever whatever it is. Just be walking around. And I learned to start looking for cars too. You see something with a bunch of cars at it.
That's it.
Here I come. I'm gonna bust up in there. They don't even know who I am. Like, hey, and I also discovered if you just cool with your camera and just act like, hey, I'm supposed to be here. People be like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, they'll let you go.
But yeah, it's an exquisite feeling.
Yes.
And you look up, I'll be out there by myself sometimes in a field, shooting who knows what, and look up and 3 hours and went by. I'm like, oh man, I ain't getting that one good picture neither. You know what I'm saying?
But you have fun though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You have fun doing it. It's one of those where you can get lost in it, and it's one of those. It's a good thing, but I gotta catch myself sometimes because I'm be like, I can overdo it and everything, and just like you said, like, oh man, I'm looking at the time, I'm supposed to be somewhere else, but it's wanting to get that perfect shot and wanting to get everything, or waiting. Just like you said, all right, here it goes, and then just trying to capture it. So, but like I said, it's no better feeling though.
It's a trip, man. You better than me at photography, so I don't know if you miss as many shots as I miss, but I feel like my shot ratio is like, it's like, it used to be like 5 to 1, 5 attempts to get one good shot. I say it's about 3 to 1 now.
I mean, the thing for me is I was like, I'm gonna keep snapping, and then I'm gonna take it into Lightroom, and when I go in Lightroom, then I'm like, really okay, because I'll do the preview and I'll kind of check and see, but once I get it on the big screen, then that'll kind of let me know, oh man, let's get this one out of here, delete and everything. I'll see if maybe I was a little bit off and kind of adjusting, but man, that on the edit side of it, that's a whole nother beast and everything. I know for some people, they may be just looking at it as, oh, you're taking the photos, but that editing is something where, for me, I don't know how picky you are. A lot of people that'll be like, oh, Rick, you can just give me like the raw files, and I'm like, ooh, I'm touchy about that. I'm like, I want to make sure, I want to go through every photo, I want to touch it, I want to just make sure, and then give you just a nice polished product. And so it's hard. So usually that's why I'm like, give me a couple days, let me go through it, and then I'll kind of share with you, and it's in its right state, because you may see something and that the exposure maybe I was a little off on, I can kind of correct that and kind of fix that and do what I need to. And so I kind of take pride in being able to just make sure it's in the right state, and you don't have to do nothing to it.
Yeah.
So.
I don't think I give raw files. And it's something else I'm discovering too. You're talking about making a business out of something, being an entrepreneur. You also have to sacrifice, I'm discovering for me, you got to sacrifice a little bit of your drive to be perfect. You can't be perfect. When I was up north, I was working at a SAIC doing video, and my mentor up there, one of the cats I consider a mentor, older gentleman named Peter Kent, he shot everything, man. He was a news dude, so he shot every president, every interviews and everything. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things he used to tell me is, Robert, he said, you're throwing out the good, looking for the perfect. He's like, what you're looking at, that's perfectly fine. Do this, do that, and move on. Yeah. And I'm starting to realize, So even so, I still figured that it takes about, for every hour that I'm shooting or that I'm filming, it still takes at least an hour, if not 2, at home to work on that.
Exactly.
So people, like you said, people think you just taking pictures and you said, no, I was here for 2 hours. I'm gonna probably be at home for at least 2 hours messing with these pictures. You know what I'm saying? And that's where your fees come from. People don't understand why is it cost so and so. Well, yeah, you saw me for 2 hours. You saw me for 4 hours, but you didn't see the other 4.
Exactly.
So that's 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? But one of the cool things though is back in the day, I've been researching for a while now a cat named Eugene Rockymore. Have you heard of him?
I don't think so.
He was a Lubbock photographer. He was from Henderson.
Okay. And
he went into World War, I think Korean War. But then when he got out, he used his GI Bill to go to Wiley College. This is why I was drawn to him. Started seeing some of his photos, and matter of fact, that picture right there on top, that's I think he took that picture, and that's at Wiley College, Mr. Curtis Humphrey's photography class.
That's crazy.
And so me finding all this and finding out about Eugene Rockymore, first of all, one of the things I noticed is back in the day, they used to call it making pictures, not taking pictures. And that's what we're talking about. You don't take pictures. You make pictures. Because first of all, you got to figure out your triangle, your exposure triangle, before you even take the shot. So you done already made it right there. It's skill level and equipment.
Exactly.
But then you go home and now I use Photoshop, but Lightroom, whatever. And again, we're talking about another hour or two on the project or more, maybe more. That you making that picture. Now we ain't in the dark room with chemicals no more, but we still making it though. You know what I'm saying? So I like to say I'm trying to train myself to say making pictures.
Yeah, I like that.
Would you like me to come out and make some pictures for y'all?
Exactly.
Because I'm reading this book I got on Black Texas photographers. That's what everybody in there says, making pictures. I
love that.
They all old school cats, you know. And he worked right over here at First National Bank. Used to be Sam Roberts' photography deal, and right over here he worked at Frito-Lay part time or full time. Did this like part time. But he's got some great pictures. Miss Green has some in that room back down there. But anyway, I just said all that to say we make pictures.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm stop saying taking pictures. Making
Yes,
pictures. Indeed. Man, it's been good talking to you. I got a couple of other questions, but also we finna get into the speed round. I didn't tell you what the questions was. Let me just make sure I asked you everything. Here's a real good question though. You do a lot of stuff, man. Do you get tired and burnt out?
Oh man. So the kind of like I said, going back to those college days, I feel like it kind of prepared me kind of for it. So you talk about the sacrifice and all different things to be able to balance and have so much on your plate. It can be a lot. So it can weigh on you, but just kind of enduring and just kind of going through. And so it's one where, every week's different. I think that's the part where what I like is every day is not the same. Like every day, it may be I'm doing pictures this day. The next day it may be editing, it may be shirts, and then it may be an event. So I love that. But then it could be where this is a lot this week. This is a tough week, and it can definitely weigh on you. And like I said, everything kind of ends with me kind of being the owner. So even if I got help, if it's, intern kind of helping out, whatever, but that load, most of it is gonna lie on me. And so trying to just kind of hang in there and like you said, a lot of people don't realize on the back end of all the different things that you're doing. And so I try and I keep that smile on, but it could be like, ooh, I can't wait to get home just to be able to just kind of relax. And so you have that on that Saturday or Sunday, it may hit me and I'm like, okay, I just need to just relax and just take a minute. I don't really do too much, but if I can just have a moment, some of that may be catching up on sleep. It may just be sitting down, just watching TV just for a minute, but just taking that time where I can just do that recharge and kind of reset. And usually it's pretty quick. It's not. You'll talk to me and it may be, "What are you doing, Ricky?" And I may have kind of just watched TV for a minute and then I may be back to it 2 hours later. I'm one of those where, like I said, when you love what you do, I think it's one of those where you kind of don't mind and kind of, maybe I'm addicted to work. Maybe that's one of those things, but I'll definitely kind of, I'm jumping back on it, pretty quick. So
cool. I get that way too. And I have discovered though, what I need to do is one of the reasons why I wanted to get something like this set up is so I can just do this during the week, if at all possible. So, because it was getting to the point, and it still is, where I don't have any time off, really. You know what I'm saying? Because I work full time, and then I do my thing on the rest of the time, and I'm still a dad and a husband. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, I said I'm gonna stop putting stuff on the weekend, and plus, something told me I need to be taking a Sabbath. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to honor the Sabbath. So I say Sunday, man, I'm gonna stop doing stuff on Sunday. I ain't gonna do jack on Sunday. I'm gonna sit at the crib with the fam. I cook Sunday dinner usually. That's what I'm gonna do Sunday. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But you definitely need that time off. I was gonna see. You kind of touched on this. What is you kind of touched on this about not having the same thing every day. It's always something different. But what's the best thing about what you do?
Man, I think the opportunities that it brings, like I said, it's different things that I didn't know this was going to be like the path and everything for me. So you have these opportunities where, oh man, I am covering like a prestigious event. You know, I'm going to be the one taking the pictures for it. Something that, you know, if I wasn't doing this, I wouldn't be in this room. Yeah. And you get to, I meet so many different people, and a lot of people like, man, Ricky, how you know all these people? And I'm horrible with names, but I remember their faces because I'm like, I have you on my camera and everything. And so it's a lot of people where they, I love kind of like, I feel like people person. So that's, you know, especially being in the community, but just being able to connect with them and engage with them. And then just being able to share, I guess, like my gifts and everything with them, because I feel like it's a gift. And so you get to see like their faces and everything. So you share like that, you know, a picture or whatever it may be, and kind of the emotion that it may spark with them, or you know, that's a memory they're going to keep kind of for life. So I'm kind of connected to them kind of for life. I kind of feel like it. So in a way, I just feel like those are just those memories that I'm happy to be fortunate enough just to be a part of them. But for them, you know, they're looking at it as like, oh man, like you got this, you did it. Like, I'm so happy, I'm so thrilled, whatever, you know, the feedback that you get. I think that's what pushes me. And even the stuff that I do, like in the community, some of it may be where, you know, oh man, it may be a risk, or it may be, you know, kind of the why behind it. But when people start, you know, sharing that, oh man, I love what you're doing, and you know, this is helping other people, and it's doing this and that, I think that's the drive. And so when you're talking about like the tired and everything, I think that's the thing that also kind of pushes me and kind of motivates me, is all right, it's other people that may be depending on this, or it can help other people. And so knowing that, you know, you're a part of that, I think it pushes you a little bit even more.
So since you love doing this so much, here's the real question. What would you do if you could no longer do this?
Oh man. So I was trying to figure this one out. I was struggling. I couldn't come, because I was like, man, what would I be doing? And so I kind of thought about, well, what's the things that I'm interested in, and what I would be trying to put together. And I was like, for me, I was like, I feel like that passion with kids has always kind of been there. And I've had people tell me, oh, you could have, I could see you being a teacher because you're doing all these events and everything. And I said, whoa, I don't know about teacher, but I said, maybe it could be maybe I could see maybe like a coach, maybe PE coach or something, or maybe art teacher, or, you know, something where I'm probably not, you know, full time with them, but probably like they come in my period and we do something. So I think maybe kid related was probably, that was the closest thing I kind of think of. But it's hard to say, but that was one where I do feel like that's a connection right there. Right. So,
okay, what's next for Real Deal Designs?
I mean, I'm definitely trying. I got ideas. I have a lot of things that I'm working on. I feel like the time is one of the things where it's like, man, I feel like doing so much. How do you take time to, because for me, I'm a planner and I want to get it right, but some of it is related to Real Deal, and then some is like the work that we're doing like with the Black Business Expo. And so I really want to kind of advance it. I want to start doing and focusing more like on the youth, so kind of going back to that previous, so for me, I want to talk to them about like entrepreneurship. And I want to, I wish I would have known about starting a business at a younger age.
Me too.
It was like 19 or whatever, 18, 19, where it was kind of looking at that as like, okay, that idea. But then it was like, what's the steps to kind of go through with it and really do that? What if I could have did some of that at an early stage and everything? And so I know it's individuals, parents and everything, and they're starting to like talk to their kids about like financial literacy and setting up these different things in their names at a young age. I was like, for me, I want to do that, but I want to also add to it where we talk to them about entrepreneurship, starting a business, and maybe even if it's not them starting a business, what it looks like to be, maybe like a manager, like these roles where it could be if I'm coming in, maybe in the service, where, they want to look at photography or they want to look at T-shirts and what does that look like? How can I be successful in it? And like I said, really just kind of getting some of these ideas that's just been stuck in here and really just getting them out. But I think that's going to require a little bit more freedom on the time aspect.
Right.
But I'm excited for the future. I feel like it's definitely growth is always, one of the things that you always want to do and you want to look at. Taking in any feedback and how can I, get better at what I'm doing and really look at if it's other things that I could be doing to kind of better serve or better be an asset, to the community.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think that's the challenge that I'm finding too. You have a million ideas, but it's only 24 hours in a day. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to, like you said, it's hard to find. How can you sacrifice any more than you already do to find some little time and energy to get off on something? But that's definitely something that I'm interested in too. I wish when I was 30, I was sitting on the couch one time. I was still active duty in the military, and it just dawned on me like, oh, I'm 30. And I said, man, I was gonna have my PhD by the time I was 30. I said, well, that's fine, but I don't really want a PhD anymore. I don't want to be a history professor anymore. But I said, I want to start a business. Something. But it's like, how do you do that? What skills do I have? What's step one? So at 30 is when I was starting to think like, let me see. How do you start it? How do you do? I wish I'd have started that when I was about 18.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I'd have started doing what I'm doing now at 18, oh man. I have me a corporation.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's the thing. If we could just kind of, I feel like we don't have like those conversations, and it's something where it's almost hidden in it. Especially, I feel like in our community, we talk about some of the other different things and these other, jobs and these, with school, but why is that not one of the things that we also kind of try and instill and just speak into existence and just kind of put out there and really look at it. And so I know for me, I would love, you talk about the family aspect that you have. I was like, man, I could see me once I kind of get to that point and it being like a family thing and we're doing it, together. And so I love like this. I love kind of what's going on and love to be able to just kind of have, once I get to that point and, we're all a part of this and it being something that not only that we're doing together, but something I can pass on and I can leave. Yeah. So that for me, I think that's like really big and kind of important to me is they can, take this. And even if it's something that, maybe they have their own version of it and they do it how they want with it, but it's something that it could be their legacy still for them. And so I think that's real important.
Yeah, I know with my kids, I'm definitely talking to them about college is good. I'm not saying it's not good, but if you think you might want to start a business, that might be better. You know what I'm saying? But it is time now for the infamous speed round questions. I say infamous. This is the second time I ever did them. Like I done had 50 million guests come through.
You got to start somewhere. I'm not mad.
All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Question 1. What's the best part of waking up?
Oh, man. Getting to see another day.
Okay. A lot of people, I had Reggie Dial on. He said, Folgers in your cup. I said, word. That's what I'm saying. It sure is. All right, here's one. Not really a speed round question, but just a curious question. Have you ever had any kind of supernatural experience? Any kind of weird situations, any kind of things make you say, make you say, ooh, what was that? I better get out of here.
Oh man. Not necessarily supernatural. I mean, I've had just where something will happen and it'll be where it may, I don't know, maybe that could be supernatural, but just being in a spot and then something happening and you're like, something of like, let me just move over out the way, and you have a little situation happen. I've had those type of things, but that's about it. That's all I've had. I know some other people, they probably tell you some stories, some of my friends, but I'm not on the lucky end of that one, I guess.
Well, you might be on the lucky
on the lucky end.
So more like your third eye talking to you. You know what I'm saying? My dad called it your jack hunching, which is a weird phrase, but I know what he means. You get that weird feeling like, I better leave.
Exactly.
Man. I don't like this cat, man. I ain't, I better stay here.
It's time to go to the situation, whatever it may be. Yep.
Right. And then something turn out. Usually when I had that feeling, I've learned to listen to it, because usually when that happen, man, if it say stay or go or don't mess with him or do this, I try to do it, because usually something happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I say, I should have listened to that voice, man. I just knew. All right, here we go. Batman or Superman?
Superman.
How come?
I feel like Superman, you got everything. Like, you can fly. I feel like for me, I'd be able to go all the way across the world. You got the super strength. So I just feel like for me, Superman would be where it's at.
All right. Booker T. Washington or W.E.B. Du Bois?
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. I know it's supposed to be speed. Goodness.
That's a hard one.
That is hard. WB? I mean, man, that's super. I mean, really, I feel like I should take both. I know that's cheating. WB Du Bois, I think I would have to go with. So definitely just kind of taking everything with him. I think, that'd be my go-to for sure.
Okay.
So.
All right. What you bumping right now? What's on your playlist?
Oh, man. So I got a lot of R&B going right now. We talked a little bit about on the events and everything. So like on Sundays, that's typically we'll do this like unwind Sundays, and so it's supposed to be something to you had a long week or get you ready to start off the new week and everything. And so usually the R&B is in the mix. So oh goodness, Ella May, Jacquees. So there's a lot of different things. I try and keep it. We'll have like some of the new stuff and then some of the old stuff too. So we'll have Escape and just a little bit of everything in there. So it's a good time. But that's my I love that because I get to my inner DJ gets to come out. Yeah. And so if you're talking about loves, I guess another thing that would be on there is music. So for me, that's just the opportunity to get to share my love of music with other people. And, song come on and, they start singing and start dancing kind of to it, take them back to a good memory and everything. But definitely on the R&B, that's real heavy right now. So.
Okay. All right. Give me a one song you bumping that people might say, well, you bumping
that? Man. Probably, oh goodness, on the spot. It's this, oh man, I can't think of the name of it, but it's brand new. I think like here in the last week, Day 26, probably people forgot about them, but they just actually released something, and it's got this just song. I feel like it just touched me and everything because I can just feel kind of what they're talking about. But it's a real powerful song. But the whole album is really good. But I guess shout out to Day 26.
Word. See, I done learned something. I'm a music lover, so I'm gonna go peep out some Day 26 when we get to the house. See, who I ain't never heard of them. Interesting. Well, Ricky, I appreciate you, man, coming on the Focus LBK show. It was real cool talking to you. Hopefully, we'll get to collaborate in the future, man. We kind of been chit chatting a little bit around the edges of doing something together. So we need to make that happen. I would say, you know what I'm saying?
Soon. ASAP.
Before you jet out, is there anything you want to tell the people general?
Man.
Anything you got coming up? Anything?
Not anything on the books yet. Like I said, we're just kind of looking at stuff to close out the rest of the year and kind of get going. So hoping to get another Black Business Expo together. We're trying to look at setting a date, and it'll be something around the holidays that people can kind of just look forward to, and really just anything you're looking for, kind of celebrate Thanksgiving, Christmas, any of those end of the holidays at the end of the year. That'd be an opportunity to support some local businesses, kind of keep everything kind of here local. And then really, so we're going to try and get some things going. Like I said, for the youth, I want to start doing some different workshops and maybe have something once a month on the weekends. And that could be something that on a Saturday, mom and dad could bring out their kid, and we're doing different things, kind of art. We're talking about business. We're talking about anything that just may come up, but really just exposing them to some different things to really get their creative juices going, or their aspirations that they might want to get into. And so hopefully I'll have some updates on them soon, but that's kind of to be announced for now.
All right. Well, LBK, y'all heard it straight from the mouth of the man himself. Mr. Ricky Sherfield, great asset to the community, and somebody I look forward to getting to know better and work with in the future, man. Y'all take it easy. Hope y'all enjoyed the show. Stay tuned for the next one. And give them that website real quick.
So it's going to be Real Deal Designs, and then also on social media, Real Deal Designs. And so we love any suggestions, feedback, comments, whatever it may be. If it's an opportunity for me to kind of serve you, we'd love to. So thank you.
All right, and with that, we gonna close it down and shut it off, man. It's getting kind of late in the day. We got to get on home. I got a lovely wife chilling. All right, y'all take it easy. Peace. Confident and masculine, I step into the stadium. Eyes wide, time flies, life like palladium. Value in the moments that be fleeting in our face, and then they go.